Hello friends, welcome to Karen's Stamp Pad. My name is Karen Scott and I am a independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Edmonton, Alberta in Canada. So welcome today. Let me just start by saying, okay, this is June 30th, Thursday, June 30th, last day of June, and we hit July 1st tomorrow, so Canada Day. And so an early happy Canada Day. On Canada Day, nice special, we have, or Stampin' Up has, the new mini catalog, which is going to be rolled out. And I can't show you what's in here just yet. You'll see tomorrow. If you would like a catalog and you don't have one, please, if you're not a demonstrator, please contact me and I will be sure to get you one. Along with that mini catalog, we are also celebrating a celebration, and that runs from tomorrow till the end of August, so August 31st. And for every $60 that you purchase out of the annual catalog, the mini catalog, you get a $60 level 1 celebration item. If you spend $120, you get a level 2 and or 2 level 1s. So anyway, it's a great deal. There's some really cute stuff in here, and like I said, I will send them out to you if you would like. Just message me and give me your address, and I would be happy to do that for you. So I am going to give you a sneak peek at one of the stamp sets and dies, or it's actually a suite out of the mini catalog, and it is called the Storybook Gnomes Suite Collection. And with that comes the stamp set, the Kindest Gnomes. It comes with some dies that cut out the gnomes, and the I don't know, you want to call it a toadstool house, a mushroom house. And it also comes with some really cute designer series paper, and out of that designer series paper the dies cut out quite a bit of stuff in here, and the rest you can fussy cut, just grab your scissors and fussy cut. But it also has some of the paper has the mushrooms, the mushroom houses. There are some deer, moose, gnomes of different colors. And so I've gone ahead and everything that I could cut out with my dies and fussy cut, I did. So it makes crafting so much easier. You don't have to stamp and color. This is really quite quick. So I've got everything in this little box, and I can pull it out. Now, when I run out of this, I have my stamp sets, or when I want to spend a little bit more time in color, I can use my stamps to stamp, and then my dies to cut out. And I would use my Stampin' Blends to color them in, or actually let me see, my watercolor pencil crayons. So, all right, this is the card. Okay, so I've made it a shaker card, and let's see, I've used the Sparkle and Shine sequins in there. I wanted to do a pop-up card, but I noticed that one of the other demonstrators, I watched a video, and she did that. So I thought, well, I'm not going to recreate that. So I've done a shaker card, and this is what it looks like. I have used the pre-cut pieces and the sentiment, and so I have some which I need to cut a piece I don't have. I have some of the, I can't think of the name of it right now. Not vellum, the window sheets, sorry. So in there, and gone ahead and die cut some pieces out, and we'll go ahead and put that together. So this one I'm going to do with let me put this aside. I am going to use my Night of Navy cardstock. Now, that's not one of the colors that is listed on the Designer Series paper packet, but I think it goes quite well with the Balmy Blue, and, well, maybe it is. I should grab that. Let me see. I don't want to lie to you. Oh, that's Splendid Day. So, it's buried underneath my mess, but let's see. Anyway, it goes quite well with these gnomes. So I have gone ahead and pre-cut most of my stuff, and I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I have cut it at 5.5 and scored it at 4 1/4. So I want it to open like this, and then I can make the most of my scene in the back. I have cut out another piece of Night of Navy, and it is 4 1/4 by 5.5, so it's exactly the same as the front. I have my Designer Series paper, and it is 5 1/4 by 4, along with a piece of basic white cardstock, and it is the same as the Designer Series paper, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. And what I've done is I've used the Painted Textures 3D embossing folder, and I have run it through the embossing folder, and it just kind of gives it I don't know, a feel of snow. So, and a little bit of texture, which you don't really notice all that much once you cover it up. Okay, so I have cut out some using my stitched rectangles dies, and I've cut out a couple of pieces of Balmy Blue and basic white stitch rectangle dies. I have used the gnome dies to cut out some little pieces of grass and some mushrooms and their stems, so we'll use that on our card. And then a piece for the center of the card, so we can write our sentiment and stamp, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. So there's all our pieces. I am going to grab some window sheets and cut that down. So I want that. What I am going to do is use, once I glue this on, I'm going to use another stitched rectangle die, and I am going to cut the center out of that to make my little window and put my window sheet in. So I need it to be just slightly bigger than this. So I'm going to grab it, I'm going to cut a piece, and I will be right with you. So I'll take my die and measure it, and here we go. So my window sheet is going to be 3.5 by 4.5. But that's going to be too big, so let's go. Nope, it's not. Okay, so 3.5 by 4.5. You could make it 3 3/4 by 4.5. So just so you have a little bit of room to glue it down. There's a little bit of an edge there. So okay, so now let's get started. I am going to first start with my top piece. Like I said, I'm going to glue this on. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. And I'm not going to do it in the center because I'm going to cut the center out, and I might want to use the designer series paper for something else and the Night of Navy for something else. So this way it will separate. So let's just line it up, center it the best you can. Okay, now I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to center that, and then I'm going to run it through my Big Boss. And what's going to happen is I'm going to get my little window that I want. So put that aside. And so on the back, I want to adhere my window sheet that I just cut. And I want to make sure I get it all the way around. So what I'm going to do is bring in my silicone craft mat because I don't want glue all over everything. Okay, so I'm going to run my tape there. And then on the side, because it's not as wide as the other edges, this will just go on my silicone craft mat. There we go. A little bit more. And I'm going to pull the extra out. I don't want that showing or... Okay. There we go. Get all the dust off it and line that up. Okay. So we have that. Now I'm going to use my foam adhesive strips. Okay. And so you get 40 in a package, 20 per sheet, and they are quite long. Just get the first one out. So I wanted to mention too that if you are in Edmonton and want an in-person stamp class instead of online, I do some classes via Zoom, and have some people from out of town attend. So that works great for people who aren't in Edmonton. But I have a drop-in coffee and cards scheduled for it's Wednesday during business hours, so during the day, from 3 to 5 on July 13th. And it is at Caffeine here in Creekwood Chapelle. So if you are free and you'd like to stop in, I'm going to have a variety of card kits made up and samples made up, and people can come down. grab whichever one they like, and I will help them put the cards together. And yeah, so the cost is $5 per card, and you can, you know, choose your own sentiment. I will have a variety of sentiments, so you can make birthday cards. You can make, there's a couple of Christmas cards, and yeah. So anyway, I would love to see everybody. Just go to obviously this Facebook page, and there is an advertisement there. It's under events, and yeah, so I think the more the merrier. Come down, and Kathleen has some wonderful coffee. They have some great cookies, brownies, and all kinds of treats. Their soups are to die for. You know, come down, grab a coffee, a tea, and a treat, and let's stamp together. So yeah. All right. So now what I'm going to do, my dogs are going nuts outside my room, and I'm pretty sure my kids are too. So I'm going to take my foam adhesive strips. Now I could use dimensionals here, except these are a little higher than the dimensionals. So, and I want to just support the side. I guess you don't really need to, but I'm going to. So if you want to save on your strips, you'll pass on this part, but we'll put that on the side. Now this one you don't have to worry about the corners matching up, because the sequins will be inside the smaller box. Okay. Yes, I haven't put it together yet. They're banging at my door. I think the dogs are playing. So Christmas in July. So I'd like to introduce you to a couple of more stamp sets out of the Mini Catalogue. And yeah, so get stamping and gear up for Christmas. All right. I'm always one of those last minute people who just trying to get my cards done at the last minute, and I do cards to gift to other people, so not just to send out as for Christmas cards. So it is a lot of work. So the sooner I get started, the better. So there we go. I have all of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, my sequins, I'm going to put some in. You can be quite generous. There's lots in there. Put as many or as little as you like. I put lots in the last one. I think I might do it a little sparingly this time so it doesn't cover everything up when it sits on the bottom. That's good. All right, now I'm going to set this aside because what I want to do next is decorate my backdrop. So let's put that aside for now. Okay. So what I've done in the back of this was, and most of the bottom part was covered up, so I'm not going to bother showing you what I did with the bottom because it's just not really needed. Get rid of my garbage. All right, so I have a blending brush, and I have taken my Balmy Blue ink pad, and I just wanted to have a bit of a difference in color. So this bottom part would be snow, the top part of the backdrop a sky, right? So anyway, I use the Balmy Blue because that is the one of the colors in the, and I could, and I may just bring in some bring in some Night of Navy as well. Okay, I was using it, so it'll be in my pile, I think. And if I don't have it, we will skip that part. I was stamping away and moved everything over so that I could make room for my Facebook Live. So I can't see it right now, so I guess we will go without. But that's okay. Oh, you know what? It's right in front of me. Of course. Okay, and I have a different brush for the darker. And let's see. With these coming down, it almost looks like the Northern Lights. I should put some green and some yellow in there. No. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to do there. And I'm going to bring in and pick out some gnomes and stuff out of my pre-cut supply now. And this one I've used the Calypso Coral mushroom. So this one with our front maybe, so it blends in with our backdrop. Let me just grab a piece of the paper because I want to see it and have it laying in front of me. There's a little piece that came out of the center. So, yeah, I wonder. I wonder if I should go with the same one. Hello, Margaret Ann. How are you? Thank you for jumping on. I'm giving everybody a sneak peek of the Storybook Gnomes Sweet Collection. And just doing a shaker card with it. Maybe, baby. That might, I think I'm going to go with the blue because that might be too much of the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to put this right here. Using my liquid glue, and I want to get around the edges. I don't want it to squish out, otherwise all my sequins are going to stick to it. But I'm going to put that there, I believe, and I want it around the edges so that the sequins don't get stuck underneath. So popping things up isn't a good idea, otherwise it sticks to everything underneath. So I'm going to put this little guy on the front, I believe. And what else do we have in here? Ooh. Here's a nice colorful one. There we go. So, do I want to put a deer in there? I didn't have one on the first one, so we could do that. I think that's kind of cute. Oh, don't be sorry. I'm glad you're on. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm going to do that this time. Put the deer in there. I'm going to keep this guy out. So I'm going to glue these down. And then I'm going to bring in my die cut pieces for my mushrooms. And okay, there we go. Put him there, her there. And all right, put that away. Here's my die cut pieces. So I've used Old Olive and the Calypso Coral mushroom top. I could have gone with what, you know, some of the other colors in there, but let's just put our mushrooms together. So we've got the stems. Put a little bit of glue. Pardon me. This set, or this suite is so cute. Just so cute. You could make cards just using the designer series paper. You know, if you want to fussy cut everything out, you don't need a die cut machine. You don't, but I have it, and it's easier to cut them out with a die cut. So let's put a couple more together. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting unless I have to. And one more, the long stem. And then I'll put those on, and I'm going to grab the ones that are dry. And everything's sticking to my fingers. Okay, I think that looks kind of cute there. I'm just going to add some greenery here. Actually, I'm not. I did on the last one, but then I covered it up. So as you can see, I put my little wolf on the outside, or fox, I guess. He's not a wolf, he's a fox. So I'm going to put these here so you can see them. Put some greenery around. My mother would have loved this set. she always had mushrooms were her thing. She loved mushrooms. She had cute little gnomes. So that actually one that used to hang on the corner of the wall. I've got it now in my spare bedroom. It's so cute. She had all these cute little figurines and knickknacks, but all right. So I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to add another piece of greenery, I think down a little farther here, and that's going to be it. So what I didn't do on the first one that I'm going to do on this one is I am going to put and glue down some sequins. So they just are sequins, rhinestone jewels, so they just look like diamonds in the sky. So I'm going to bring those in, and so then when all the glitter, all the sequins fall to the bottom of the card, you're still going to see stars in the sky. So I'm going to bring in my putty end of my take your pick tool. I need to clean this. I've got glue all over everything. Okay, so I'm just going to take the little ones, I think. Yeah. Let's not go overboard, right? Okay. Thank you. I think these gnomes are cute. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my piece, my front piece. Now, the one thing I have to do is just make sure it's right side up. So which side is right side up? Okay, I've got it in the right direction. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it over. And it doesn't have to be perfect because, of course, it is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So, but I want, there we go. It lines up pretty good there. So now what I'm going to do, because I don't want to squish the center, I'm going to use some tear and tape to put adhesive on the back. And I'm going to be generous with it because I want this to stick and not fall off. Okay, use my take your pick tool and get underneath the ends. Come on. And one more. Okay. those aside. Now what we're going to do is bring in our card base, and we are going to line it up. Oh, sorry, my head. I'm going to be able to line it up so it fits the envelope. If I go over too far, I won't leave enough room. Okay, here we have it. So there's that one. And our stars are still in the sky. I could have used less. All right, now I want to, like I said, I'm going to put this little guy here. And I think I didn't put any in the corner. I'm going to just cut a piece off here. And bit on the bottom so it's a little shorter. I'm going to put that right here. And then I'm going to glue my little guy on so it looks like he's, yeah, it gives it more of a 3D look to it, which was what I was wanting to do in the first place. Like I said, with the pop-out card that I wanted to do, but and liquid glue there. We are going to put him sleeping in the corner. And so now we just have to, I can put some, I wonder what that would look like. Let me see. I don't know. Gems on the outside, gems on the inside, and I have some glue right there. Bring in my little eraser. So if you have some glue and you have a white eraser, it works really well. All right, now let's do the inside. And I'm just going to take my piece of basic white and my Stampin' Seal. I'm going to center this, and then I am just going to put some of my mushrooms just to give it, oops, my eyelash. Should have picked it up and made a wish. There, and a piece of grass. Oh, thanks for sharing, Margaret Ann. Okay. Okay, so that's that. You can put a sentiment in there if you want. I am going to stamp a sentiment on my pieces that I've cut out. And I've already got some on my block. So I'm just going to put Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. The other sentiments on here, you gnome me so well. Warm wishes and your kindness does not go unnoticed. But I want these for, not sort of thank you, but Christmas. And so I'm going to use, oh, my husband's phoning me. I gotta love it. Yes, honey, I'm doing a Facebook Live at 4 o'clock. Perfect time to phone me. All right, now what did I do with my wow, probably right in front of me like the other. I think I will use this. Let's just, oh, it's right where it's supposed to be. Back. I have a little bit too much on here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put this on the back. And there we go. And then, of course, I'm just going to glue it straight down because I don't want, it's already popped up, so we don't want to pop it up anymore, or you're going to have a pretty thick card for mailing. So here we have it. And seeing as I'm already going crazy with the sequins, let's just put one there. And I'll do the same on my other card, but on the other side. There we go. So here we have two different cards, just using the designer series paper with the dies that and everything cut out. But we have, this was the first one that I showed you. Shake, shake, shaker, and then this is using a different different color. This looks really busy, doesn't it? But when you look at it close up, it's really cute. But it's got a lot going on. Anyway, so there's my version of a shaker card using just the designer series paper and cutting it out. I haven't stamped anything. I used the die cuts in the paper. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead after and play and stamp and color some of these to use on future cards. But, you know, hopefully you've got an idea and can put this together. So again, just a reminder, July 13th, it's a Wednesday from 3 to 5. Come out and see me at Caffeine, and let's do an in-person stamping. So the cards that I have are all pre-cut and more geared towards the beginner stampers. So you know, just to get them interested in stamping and share my love of Stampin' Up with others, and hopefully I get a good turnout. But anyway, so that's it for today. And again, the new catalog, the mini catalog, goes live tomorrow. And so if you need anything and you need some help, give me a shout, and I'd be more than happy to give you a hand. So anyway, have a wonderful Thursday afternoon, and I will see you again. Let me see. Ooh, I was going to say I'll see you again next week, but I am heading away for a week. So, yeah, leaving Monday and not coming back till the following Monday. So, I'm not sure yet if I can pre-record a video. I will try to do that and set it up so that it airs next week. But if not, you will see me the week after that. So anyway, have a wonderful Canada Day, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.